This review from the DWRG was written by Tim Roll Pickering, published on the 12th of the 5th, 03, A Desperate Venture. This is a story about desperation which sees several familiar characters adopt extreme stances throughout the course of the action. The Daleks have suffered so serious a defeat that they turn to recruiting human soldiers to reinforce them. Davros is so tired of being used and abused by the Daleks that he now seeks to ensure they are either loyal to him or destroyed, and plots to create a new race of Daleks that will be the supreme beings of the universe. Lytton serves the Daleks but knows his time is limited and is even prepared to kill his own troops to ensure his own survival, and the Doctor realises the level of danger and actually takes up arms, fully intending to shoot Davros dead in cold blood. This whole adventure is a far cry from the coziness of earlier years in the series. It is set in a universe where the stakes are higher, the morals are far more blurred, and the prospects of survival are slimmer than before. This story shows the darkness and how things have stopped being fun. Whilst Tegan has seen much death already in her travels with the Doctor, here she is forced to witness a rapidly soaring body count, where people such as Professor Laird and the man with the metal detector are killed merely because she sought their help. This makes her departure at the end of the story all the more stark and shocking, and brings home to the Doctor just what has happened to him. It is a strong climax for a tough character who has finally been broken by the nightmare around her, and it shows. Eric Saward's script has been accused of being overpacked with plot, but it is another sign of the desperate levels where the Daleks are plotting to rescue Davros to cure the Marvellan virus, send duplicates to Gallifrey to assassinate the High Council, and place duplicates around Earth to disrupt it all at once. They have no time to execute these plans one by one because they are fighting for their very existence. The script is packed with incident and character, and at no point does it ever feel as though time is being wasted for the sake of padding. Instead, we are dragged towards the story's conclusion as death after death occurs and virtually every single character is wiped out. Unlike the earlier Warriors of the Deep, many of the characters are properly established, if only by a few scenes in some cases, and so there is a proper sense of loss when they die. Additionally, the world around them is well crafted. The Daleks may have a fully functioning spaceship, but they themselves are in a poor condition, and forced to rely upon unstable technology such as the duplication process and conditioning. The prison space station is a run-down outpost where very little functions properly, the crew are lax and morale is low. The warehouses in London are out of the way of the hustle and bustle of the city, and so there are few signs of hope. Matthew Robinson's direction is strong and tough, and heavily aided by some excellent sets by John Anderson. At no time does either the warehouse or the prison space station feel in any way like an enjoyable environment. This has no end to the sense of despair in the story. Aiding this strongly is Malcolm Clarke's score, which never lets up. The cast for the story is exceptionally strong, with Maurice Coldburn, Lytton, and Rodney Stein competing to give the strongest performance. Terry Molloy gives a performance as Davros that shows clear signs of insanity, setting in with several scenes where the character rants almost incoherently, but this only adds to the performance. Even Chloe Ashcroft, Professor Laird, gives a reasonable performance and makes the character seem useful, so that when she dies there is a clear loss. The Daleks themselves are also on form in this story. For the first time since the Daleks' master plan, they make full appearances sometime before the end of the first episode, whether in the 25 or 45-minute version, and their presence throughout the story is strong and threatening, despite the limitations they have suffered. The Dalek Supreme makes a welcome return. Unfortunately, the character is not overused, so the story progresses without getting bogged down in direct confrontations between the Daleks' leader and their creator. The result of all of this is a very strongly crafted script that manages to decide upon the nature of its setting, not only sticks to it, but also manages to get the production to follow suit. Resurrection of the Daleks was originally intended to be the final story of Season 20, and would have made a triumphant climax for the season, but its impact is nonetheless for its delay. This story easily restores the Daleks to their previous level of greatness, 10 out of 10.